We're live.
Woohoo! Yay!
Sunday morning. It's the Sunday Songwriter Spotlight with the Snarky Sisters.
Snarky.
I'm sorry, I saw the Music Man last night.
Are you Winthrop?
Little Ronnie Howard is spitting on everyone, and you can see it because he really is spitting on everyone because he's got a lisp. And anyway, I'm Diana.
And I'm Lisa, and we have special guests today, Miss Heather Aubrey Lloyd. Woohoo! Yeah.
It's the Sunday Songwriter Spotlight with Snarky Sisters. We're live at half past noon.
Well, 12:32.
Right here on our Facebook page. With our friends, we welcome you.
Because we're communists.
Featuring Heather Aubrey Lloyd and some of her fabulous tunes.
Well, we're glad to have her here. Shall I say we're overjoyed?
Lloyd is enough.
I love you and I miss you. That is how she's been employed.
Wow.
The band, ilyAIMY, I love you and I miss you. Get it? Right?
I don't get it.
A great vocalist and instrumentalist. We welcome Heather Aubrey Lloyd. Woo! Woo!
I'm impressed. I actually had a moment where I was like, "Oh my God, did you bring the oid in just so you could get my name into it?" Employed, Lloyd.
Of course.
I blame Diana for those rhymes.
Sorry.
100%.
At least I didn't use hemorrhoid.
Oh, yes.
I do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So welcome, Heather Aubrey Lloyd. Oh, so we're so happy to hear you. And before we go into your bio and everything, just want to ask you, how are you doing? How is life? And
Life is real. You know, we were talking about the fact that it's okay for it to be real. I have 3 teenage stepchildren, all in virtual school, in 3 different schools in 2 different counties.
oh my gosh.
We have a split household situation because I'm a stepmom, and so like right now, you know, you have to have conversations like, so that kid that's at the other house, maybe we won't be getting him until Tuesday, you know.
Right.
So there's a lot of that
That's
kind of
tough.
thing, and me leaving notes for them going, no one shall touch the internet until 1:30 on pain of never having muffins ever again. You know.
I tell you, if we start seeing like Heather's going like this, we're going to know. We're know what
Right,
they're
if you
doing.
see me like staring in the distance, like.
We're really not on, Mom. We're really not. Well, so we're so happy to have you here. It's just been a crazy year. It's just and for songwriters especially, Diana and I've been doing this every Sunday. It just never seems to end. We just keep going, and it's like this is fun, and we keep meeting people like you, and it's just, you know, it's a wonderful opportunity, you know, to talk about the songwriting process. And one of the things that a lot of the people have said who've been on the show is it's just really hard to write right now for 1,000 reasons.
Yeah, I've written only 3 songs during the pandemic. Oh, that's a lie. I just finished something. 4. Because Rob runs that open mic. My bandmate Rob Hinkle runs an open mic on Monday nights, also on Zoom. And he does this first Monday of the month songwriting prompt, and I haven't done any of them. And then this time around, I sort of vowed with the new year I was going to get off my butt and do it. So I did. I have a song for tomorrow. I'm kind of
Awesome.
excited about. So I was like,
Yay.
The theme. I read what the theme was.
It's taken by the wind, and I was really not jazzed about the theme because it's a direct, you know, it's what taken by the wind, you know. So I don't like it when it's a direct lyric. So I did this ginormous word bank just to come up with as much wind-related stuff as possible.
So are you still working on it, or have you finished it?
It's done. I actually finished it a
Ooh.
week early because I thought it was last week. But that's okay because it gave me a you know. So I'll debut it tomorrow. I'll keep it all secret and safe. But yeah, so that'll be the 4th. I only wrote 4. They've been good. I'm pleased with what I've written, but
Well, that's really great. Let me just give a quick bio so people know about Heather Aubrey Lloyd. She's a vocalist, instrumentalist, percussionist, and co-front person of the Baltimore-based band ilyAIMY, which has released a 3-set live album on Bandcamp from its last full band show before the lockdown. But on her own, Heather won the prestigious and lucrative Bernard Ebb Songwriting Award in 2019 for her songs Good Heart and If We Come Too Late. Yeah. Heather was the 2018 No Depression Magazine FreshGrass Festival Songwriter Award finalist, and she was also showcased as a 2018 National Women's Music Festival Emerging Artist. There are other awards as well. But among the many other awards, she won the SAW-sponsored Mid-Atlantic Song Contest Directors Award in 2018. And that's where I first saw you performing at that. And you can find her on Bandcamp and at heatheraubreyloyd.com. And please check out her website, folks. And there's a tip jar there. So please be generous. So welcome, Heather. We're so happy to have you here. It sounds like it's been a full house and a lot of responsibility, and yeah. So with your songs today, I don't know if you have like a plan for the order, or if you want to just...
I have a list of suggestions.
Okay.
So I sort of know what's there, and I figure I like the living mixtape of it all. If something in our conversation sparks me to remember, I may change my mind. So
I like that a lot. So why don't you just play something and we'll just go from there? How's that sound?
All right. That sounds good.
Great.
So I did decide to open with something very, conscientious of the opening. I, many years ago, wrote a song about, the fact that when you tour, you sort of see people every 6 months, You meet for a glass of wine, someone's moving to another country. It really is that kind of relationship. You really are ships passing in the night. And so this is called We Must Be Ships.
In my heart you're a stowaway, though absent in the docks. I can't seem to make you go away, in spite of all of the floods. And I've asked Poseidon to find him who's hiding safe on my last vintage of hope, a drug deeper than water, held in something that floats. You are a barrel rider, the most tenacious kind. And you are all promises, and I am all wine. A chronicle letter with farewell dinners, you topping off my glass before we pass, and all I taste is salt when we kiss, the way we pass in the night, the way we pass in the night. We must be ships. Flashed you a signal, you gave me a bow on your way through. With all our appointments, it's all that we had time to do. And we love our traveling, the rigging's unraveling, our canvas sails getting torn. And though I lead the way like a mascarone, I can't say I know where I'm 'cause all I taste is salt when we kiss, when we kiss, where we pass in the night, where we pass in the night, we must be ships. Found your name, finger written in sand. The last time I made land, and now I leave you a note, but I know it just won't last. I know it won't last, but you are a barrel rider, the most tenacious kind, and you are all promises, and I am all wine, but all I taste is salt when we kiss, when we kiss, the way we pass in the night, where we pass in the night, we must be ships, the way we pass in the night, where we pass in the night, we must be ships.
Woohoo! Yay! That was wonderful.
Sounded good?
Oh, awesome.
That's great.
Diana, we forgot.
Oh, are we cheersing?
Yes, we are cheersing.
I got to admit, from now and forever, this is the preferred.
What is that coffee?
Oh, it's a big ass coffee.
Hey, whatever works, right? What you got, Diana?
I've got a light as a feather, heather, raspberry champagne cocktail.
Ooh, and I got stepmama mimosa. How's that? Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink, clink.
Time.
All right, l'chaim. Oh, that was lovely. When did you write that song? I'm sorry if you told us already.
No, I didn't. It's a few years back because I play with a band called ilyAIMY, I Love You and I Miss You, and that was on one of our live discs many, many moons ago. Probably a solid 10 years, I'd say.
So your first album that you did in the studio, was that the one that you did in 2018? Or did you do one prior to that?
2017, yeah, the one that came out 2017. That was the first one I ever did solo in a studio. I did like a little teeny bedroom recording that kind of is a sort of a cult favorite. People really write me about the little bedroom recording all the time.
Oh, neat.
So that was like a song. It was all song prompts, actually. You might find that interesting. So every single song on it was from a prompt from when Rob and I used to run an open mic and do that monthly song prompt thing. And since I was the host, I had to have something every month, good or not. And I did it for 2 years. So I had 24 songs, and out of that I kind of picked the 13, 14 best. And so in the CD, or you can get it on Bandcamp now, it has the title of the song, and then in parentheses next to it, it has the prompt I started with.
That is so cool.
It was a great thing. We really had a wonderful community around that, which is why Rob revived it for the open mic he's running now. And so tomorrow there could be like 15 people with a song on the same topic.
Oh,
as it
definitely
were.
listening in on that. That sounds marvelous. This
Yeah,
sounds
it's
really
wonderful.
cool.
So tell people who don't know what a song prompt is.
So
what
a
it
song
is.
prompt, like, you know, you can only write about your own life so much. You know, we are all not Taylor Swift. We cannot eventually, you know, we have to move on and have happy relationships and, you know, get married perhaps and, you know, find peace in our lives. So you cannot just consistently write the breakup song. So song prompts are awesome because it's a word or a phrase. You know, we used to do it where we had the entire audience submit topics. We pulled 3 out of the hat and then they voted on one. And then it was like a month later, show up with your song. There's actually, I don't know if you're aware of it, Real Women, Real Songs. Have you looked into that at all?
No, tell us about that.
That's weekly. I narrowly miss doing that one where they have this troupe of, you know, really just clutch songwriters who every single week for a year contribute to a prompt. So yeah, so like on samples, like kazoo, a single word prompt one time, I wrote a song about how people, you know, date musicians because they want songs written about them, but not everybody's musical. So maybe some people just can hum, and that's the expression of their love. So a single word inspired that idea. So that's what a prompt does.
Tell us about the monkey.
Oh, I love the monkey thing. I'm like the, I don't know, the Miss Universe of the monkey songwriting contest. I must go around the world, you know, telling of it. So the cool thing is I got a twofer this year. So you mentioned that the Mid-Atlantic Song Contest Album of the Year. I just won, I hope to never win again for, you know, COVID song category. I won gold for a song that was the monkey contest song I wrote this year. So that was kind of a twofer. So every year this group of songwriters gets invited to do this thing called the Just This Guy songwriting contest. It's run by a guy named Paul Lloyd, 1L, no relation. He does ruin the spelling for the rest of us. So he throws out a topic, but it's extremely difficult. So he gives you a topic. He has a series of questions you have to answer in the song, and he gives you 5 words you have to fit in no matter what. Extra points every year if you can get monkey into it. It is a fantastic exercise. And me, Victoria Vox, and Brad Yoder have been locked in like a battle for supremacy of the top 3 for the last several years.
All right. Good compatriots on that.
It really is. And it breeds good competition. Like the day I finally beat Victoria Vox, she brought me a pink glass unicorn as a trophy.
Of course she did. Of course she did.
Do you know Victoria?
I thought she was going to give you a ukulele. She probably has 1,000 of them.
I know. She probably wouldn't part with any of them.
Wow.
Yeah, she was actually, she was on our show, I think, over a month ago, right, Diana?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. She and I went from like barely knowing each other to being in a group together. We do a group with Kip and Martin, her and I, that are Lloyd, Martin, Vox. And I've been missing them because I don't play with a lot of women. I'm in a band full of boys, you know, for a long time. Kristen is a recent addition in some ways. So,
yeah, we love Kristen.
Yeah.
In fact, Kristen is watching. And
hey.
Yes. And Robbie White and Chris Ehrlich.
Hey.
Denise Wattmodeling. Hello there. Chris Chin.
Hey,
Hi.
Chris.
And Raquel Blecksmith. David Lloyd.
That's my daddy.
That's your daddy. Hi, David. All right. He said one of my favorite songs.
Oh, good.
Rob Hinkle is watching too. Hi, Rob.
That's impressive because I know he's got stuff to do today, so I appreciate it.
Hey there, guy. And then Paul Mishler.
Oh, yay, Paul. These are a lot of like our Falcon Ridge Folk Fest friends who've been so kind to us. It's I miss them so much.
So the
Rob wrote, the kazoo prompt. I wrote it as CA space zoo and wrote about animals escaping the California Zoo.
I
Whatever
forgot
works.
that's what he did. He 100% did that.
Oh, Robin Stern and Adele. Hello, Adele. Yeah, a nice bunch of folks. Hey, guys, if I missed your names, I'm sorry. It's so nice to have so many people listening in. So maybe without further ado, since our time is going so fast, and we do want to try to get
chatty.
I know. It's me. I'm the one, when I was a kid, the teacher always wrote on my report card, talks too much in class.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah.
we'll do the living mixtape of it all. I'm going to already put something on that I didn't have.
All right.
So, the song prompt thing. So, I did an entire album of prompts, and we talked about the kazoos thing, so I'll sing that song. So, all I had was a single word. The word was kazoo. And someone recently walked down the aisle to this, and I was quite flattered.
I had our song in my hands, won't find its way to a strum. Would you think that I loved you less? Wonder if I'd gone numb if I had our song in my mouth. Won't find its way to a word. Would you think I had nothing to say? Just 'cause it couldn't be heard. You make me feel like singing, but sometimes the notes just won't come. Even when my love goes unsung, well, I can still hum. Here with your head upon my chest, you must feel the beat like a drum. That music enough to your ears? Or would it just let you down? Could you make me feel like singing? And sometimes the notes just won't come. Even when my love goes unsung, well, I can still hum. Don't feel slighted. I have pulled all nighters, writing all of my thoughts on our love. But to do it justice, I'm afraid I must admit I'm not the one. And it's your fault, really, 'cause you make me silly, and I forget where all my songs come from. But even when you strike me dumb, well, I can still hum. You make me feel like singing, but I've got better use for my tongue. 'Cause even when I kiss you, well, I can still hum. Oh, even when I kiss you.
Yay! Aw, that That was so sweet.
Yeah,
so
and inspired by one word. So there you go.
I love it. So who got married to that? Or you said that was played at a wedding?
Our friends Vaughn and Jillian got married to that. We were supposed to play their wedding, and obviously everything went awry. So we recorded everything, like special versions just for them, and sent it down, and they sent us videos of them like walking down the aisle and everything. I mean, it was like, so.
Yeah, all from a song prompt.
Yep, and written for no one. Like, that was not like, no love interest at the time. It was really, really just a product of the single word.
Yeah. Well, you're the whole package. You can really play super well.
Oh,
and
thanks.
you don't just play guitar. You're also a percussionist as well.
I do, and you're going to talk about it, and I'm going to fully admit that my cajon is sitting in my car out in the snow, and so it's not under me.
That's totally cool.
We will be cajonless today. I have no cajones.
No.
And that is a good thing.
So the song "Good Heart" that you recorded, you didn't have any instruments. You just had the percussion, correct?
I had an upright bass player. I did my album, the one you talked about from 2017, A Message in the Mess. I did that with a band out of Reno called The Novelists, who are incredible.
Yeah, tell us about them.
I love them. I met them through a friend, my friend Justin McMahon, who I had always loved his writing and loved his recordings, and he's like, then this is the guy. And so I went to Reno, and I met with Joel Ackerson, who's the sort of brainchild behind them and their recordings. And we just hit it off. And he really pushed me, because I'm very much an alto. I have a lot of upper register, but I've never gotten comfortable in it. And the first thing he did on day one was sat down at the piano and says, stop singing when you run out of notes. And I immediately am like, well, I have a lot of upper range, but I don't really like the tone. And he's like, I didn't say that, So the first thing he said was like, well, I really like this, so we're going to use it, and he never made me do anything that I didn't, feel good about, but he definitely challenged me. And we made a great record together, and I still love it.
So before him, you weren't really using your whole register? You weren't?
No, I mean, I have a very choiry upper register, like, Ave Maria, kind of thing. And you hear my speaking voice. I'm all down in the, like, Kardashians of it all. Like, vocal fry. I have to remember not to do it.
Your timbre sometimes does, I was telling Diana earlier, does the only other person I can really think that really you sound like to me at certain times in some of your songs is Linda Ronstadt.
I will take that 100% because
I
always
love her.
wanted that. Her voice is just so rich.
Yes.
And I think I favor that. I tend to cover a lot of male vocalists because I miss a richness in, but again, let's talk about a Snarky Sister type thing here. To what extent is that kind of an imbued misogyny that we are taught to sort of dislike the higher, female voice? They say that's why women talk in the vocal fry, because supposedly we're trying to sound, more intelligent or strong or whatever. And
To me,
So-
well, I have very strong opinions about vocal fry. But
Why, Diana? What's wrong with
I
it?
think it's
Oh my God, I
generational
like it so
bad.
much.
Oh, it is.
Really.
It's the Britney Spears Kardashian thing. I actually did a songwriting
That's
thing
nice.
for young girls where I was talking about, we've heard this and we start to drop into it all the time. And it sounds weird then to say, I should really be kind of talking up here because that's much better for my voice, And we do. We think it makes us sound dumb. And
Yeah.
actually, this really sounds dumb.
That does really sound dumb. But so does the baby. I do not like baby girl
I don't
vocalists either. But I was told once, because I started singing when I first started in a band, singing fairly low, and several people said, you know what, try to sing comfortably as high as you can, and that will cut through all of the other stuff. And I think that person was right.
Yeah, I've started using the highs a little bit more now because of Joel. Like I've the song that I just finished for tomorrow has got some head voice stuff in it, and I've begun incorporating more of that. So.
When tell everybody when the thing tomorrow, the open mic
Oh,
is
so
tomorrow.
Rob Hinkle runs an open mic. Rob's open mics, it's on Facebook, but the open mic is done through Zoom. I believe the list is probably jam-packed, but so it's 7 o'clock on Mondays. And the first Monday of the month is the songwriting prompt, where I believe everybody who's participating has a song in the prompt. So,
All right.
And Rob says, I'm racing and multitasking with my ears.
I know. He's like, he found more work in this. I mean, I've sort of struggled to find my place in it all because I will admit that the tech side of things is my least favorite. But if you're going to do it, you want to sound the best you can. You want to look the best you can.
Right.
And I was telling like my stepkids, it's almost like a doctor being told, well, there are these new developments in curing this illness, and you're like, well, I don't want to do that because that's not what I'm used to. Well, then your choices are you don't get to be a doctor anymore, or you got to learn the new thing.
Yeah.
Right,
So.
exactly. Well, why don't you play another song, and then on the other
will.
side of that, we'll ask you about your gear.
Okay. All right, let me think about this. All right, what did I say? All right, let's do a love song. I'm feeling lovey. We'll switch instruments.
All right.
Oh, let's make sure I put the right thing down before I switch instruments, because I would look unprofessional if I made the big bad sound.
Ba-boom.
Yeah. Oh, is it
Or
CSI?
like-
It is CSI.
When you make the big bad sound, it's CSI.
What?
Oh, actually, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna do the antithesis of a love song because I forgot I tuned specifically for something.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, you're like yes.
It'll fit into our
Heard us.
Valentine's Day theme.
Oh no, this doesn't
We're
even.
gonna
Well,
do
no,
anti-love
that's a
songs
lie.
and love songs.
I can make this work. Let me make sure I've got the basement down. I am not only I used to say this at gigs. I am not only your sound person, I'm also your merch person and your hype man for the kitchen. I am not today your hype man for the kitchen. I'm not making you any food. So this is sort of a love song, but in the worst of all worlds. I was trying to think of things I didn't play for you and haven't played a lot recently. This is a song I wrote from sort of the journalistic side of my life, where I invented a story to work for a horrible truth that I encountered about the city of Aleppo. There was a wall that was spray painted with something, and there was a meme on Facebook about it, and it had been translated into "To the girl who shared the siege with me, I love you," like ultimate misconnection. And a lot of native speakers were questioning the translation and said that "girl" was not quite right, that it could have very much been the city in the feminine, "To the city who shared the siege with me, I love you." And I really loved that story, so I wrote this.
The city's coming down around us now. Found a shell in that bakery. I used to love the pastry as a child. Now everything is empty. All these beloved places now so sharp. Every turn is jagged as a war. When it started, we did not believe. But now we have forgotten life before. She sheltered here as I. Nervous glances turn to trust in time. And though we would have never been so bold, between the bounds she slipped her hand in mine. If we are to die here, what could be the harm? Huddled crying in a stranger's arms. If they care nothing for the dead, what care we for the shame? Couldn't even hear her name. Is it closer, or is it far? I used to count the spaces in the thunderstorm. The 9 gates of the ancient citadel. there's nowhere left to run. Yeah, she looks like snow on her hair, the final snow that I will ever see. Didn't travel far or make my name, never found a calling or a family. If we are to die here, what could be the harm? Huddled crying in a stranger's arms. If they care nothing for the dead, what care we for the shame? Couldn't even hear her name. To the girl who shared the siege with me, I love you. Lovely as the land where I was born. I wonder if we will see the morning. Is it closer now, or is it far? Is it closer now, or is it far?
Thank you.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. I mean, it's a terrible subject, but
Yeah. Really good lyrics and interesting chords too. Do you which comes first, or is it all different? Do you ever dream
it's almost
songs?
always lyrics. I do keep just a stunning amount of voice memos on my phone, like, oh, that's a nice riff, let's play that for 5 seconds, and then I don't write any of it down and have to completely reverse engineer this thing I came up with. What was I doing? Oh, it's in drop D.
So, did you start playing guitar as a kid?
Not until I was about 17, and I really didn't get serious about it or, really educated about it until I met Rob. And when I met Rob, I was 21, so I got a real late start. I am going to do kind of a cool thing, and I'm going to say this publicly, so I have to do it. My eldest stepson is about to take AP Music Theory, which I never got to do, and I'm going to take it with him.
Oh,
I know
wow.
his teacher from my teaching days. And so I'm going to be in the back of the Google Meet, with my book.
Awesome.
Learning everything I never did, so.
That's one of my goals too.
Yeah, I know you've been doing you've been boning up on your classical. I mean, I am already impressed because I can't. I had to sub for guitar class during a Bach playing series, and I was slow.
Well, I
you know
think
what?
I think this might be a good time
No,
to
don't,
I think this might be a good
Oh,
time.
that's
Lisa,
me.
no, we don't have it.
Don't put them on the spot.
It's only a minute, Diana.
That's
Come
all right.
on.
It only takes a moment.
Yeah, see, she's
I want to talk about Heather.
Heather, help me.
I'm not in the middle of this.
Oh, okay. I have control over Zoom right now, so I can share this, Diana.
All right, well then just do it quickly, okay?
Oh, okay. All right.
don't
The
know if
reason
she's
why
playing.
I insist on showing it is Diana has been doing this for 30 days. So this is the 30th day. So this is kind
This
of
from
a
yesterday.
yes.
Okay.
So this is
Very
this
Extra
is
simple.
pretty. Oh, come on. Extra simple, really? I don't think
can't
so.
do it.
Wait till next month. I've got some Villalobos that I'm going to play.
So here we are with Diana Quinn. Come on, Diana. It's really great.
Hi, it's day 30 of my classical guitar challenge. Today I'm playing a Baroque beret, No. 2. That means it's a raspberry beret. All right, that's the best part, Lisa.
Now that was amazing.
What was amazing was playing those pieces. My classical guitar friends are having fits because I'm playing this guitar, which Red Mitchell owned it in 1940. This is 1941 Martin, and
Wow.
he stenciled his name on it in like army paint.
But it makes it so cool.
It's pretty cool.
So I'm sorry I had to embarrass you, Diana, but that was awesome.
Embarrass.
No, she just was like, we don't want to show that. We don't want to show that. But 30 is
That's
pretty
what I
amazing.
do. All right, thank you.
Now, I'm impressed
Thank
at anybody
you.
who can commit to anything with consistency during this time. I think as much as like we're home and we should have all this ability to do things, it's amazing how much gets in the way when you're at home all the time.
Right.
Like,
And,
yeah.
yeah, you were sick at the beginning of the lockdown,
Yeah,
weren't you?
I don't know because I could not get tested, but I have never had breathing trouble like I had where when I laid down, I, kind of thing.
Like
And it was
pneumonia.
3 weeks of that and 2 weeks of a fever that wouldn't break. And I, sensing, I basically stayed in my bedroom and wiped down. I used to call it wipe down hour. There was an hour around 2 o'clock every day where I wiped like every light switch,
Oh.
Wow.
So you don't know if you had it or not, really?
I don't know. No, we
Yeah.
tried, but they basically said unless you're passing out walking up the stairs, don't come in.
Wow.
And at
Yeah.
the time, yeah, because it was like they were overwhelmed and they didn't know what they were dealing with. Now, they would test you. Although I had a hard time. My son had an exposure and I had to take him to go get tested and we could not. I mean, you had to wait in line outside of places. I tried 3 different places, and we eventually wound up getting an instant test while we waited, to get something else.
Wow. Yeah, tough times.
Well, play something else, and then we'll ask you about your gear.
Cool. All right, let's do a real love song. I have the vents all closed in this room just to try to keep the temperature consistent. It's funny, the things you do. If you go down to the bar looking for a love song, tell you what you need to see. So come here to my corner, have a corner in my heart. They will rightly told you to ask for me. 'Cause you've been working hard all day. Let me ease your mind. And honey, I'm singing till 3. When they say last call, you don't have to go home. Think I've got a song left in me. So if you want me, don't you dare let me go. To make it harder than it has to be. 'Cause I am yours for the asking. I am yours for the asking. I am yours. So come on and ask for me. Oh, yeah. 'Cause I've been broken down and I've been tired, but you set me back on fire. And I bet you and I could find the melody
lost all that I loved. And if there is a God above, maybe I can't, but you could ask for me. So if you want me, don't you dare let me go. To make it harder than it has to be. Yeah. 'Cause I am yours for the asking. I am yours for the asking. I am yours. So if you go down to the bar looking for a love song, I'll tell you the only one you need. So if you want me, don't you dare let me go. Don't make it harder than it has to be. 'Cause I am yours for the asking. Yours for the asking. I am yours. So come on, come on.
Yay!
Thank you. That's on A Message in the Mess. So that's one of the songs on the nice, pretty studio CD.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Yeah. You have such range in your voice. You really do. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. But yeah, you just effortlessly sing and play together. I mean, you really are such a powerhouse performer. And on top of that, you write. I mean, that's really the whole deal. Really awesome.
Yeah, and I was a writer first. Again, I was a journalist, and at first I sort of struggled to tell stories that were fictional, because you have so much training, because you have so much training that says don't fill in the gap. If you don't know, don't fill in the gap. And songwriting is no, fill in the gap.
That's interesting to put it that way. So you worked at the Baltimore Sun?
I did. I did some freelance work for Patch. I worked for the Baltimore Sun. I did my internship at the Baltimore Sun, during which time they threw me to everything. I wrote obituaries. I wrote feature stories about the community. I did, everything from interviewing, sailors on the Constellation to, people who were at public works meetings because they wanted speed bumps put in so the drug dealers would stop hitting their kids. I really did love that. I mean, it was stressful, and definitely I made a decision about my life at that time that I loved journalism, but I saw what it did to people over time, and I realized that I'd always loved music, and I thought I couldn't do it, for a living. And I've been fortunate, the year before all this happened was the single most successful year of my career. And I've been getting by okay, surprisingly, considering, we do have these things available to us.
Do you make plans in your head? What do you envision? Say that we all get herd immunity and can start doing things again. What's your imagination showing you for yourself?
There's a great Yiddish expression. Mensch tracht und Gott lacht. Man tries and God laughs. Sometimes interpreted as man plans and God laughs. I have no idea how to make plans. I'll admit to that being the biggest sort of mental health hurdle of this thing. I don't know when to begin again. Like I'm sitting on mastered tracks that were supposed to come out a while ago, and I don't have the money to hire a publicist right now, and do I want to release them in a lesser way, and shoot myself in the foot twice, and so I'm like, yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yes, a friend of ours was like, should we release our album the end of last year, or should they release it now? And asking our opinion about it. It was like, gosh, we don't really know what the best time is. This might go on, well into the summer, might go
Right.
into the fall.
So I think the only plans I can really make right now, I just edited a music video actually. So the song that won the COVID, the My Kind of Quarantiner, I wrote about all the different hobbies people picked up during quarantine. I sang all the parts like very Andrews Sisters. And so when I won the award and they were like, oh great, we want videos, as if you would have done the performance at, the award
Right.
ceremony. I'm like, oh crap, there's like 6 of me in this song. How do I do that? And I said to Jay Keating, the president of SAW, I said, give me a minute, I have an idea. And so I did like 6 costume changes and spent 25 hours editing video of all these me's singing and playing,
Excellent.
It actually turned out good. I finished it like 10 o'clock last night, so that'll
Wow.
air as part of whenever they do the awards ceremony stuff.
Oh, great. So what
So,
did you use for that? What software
Oh,
did you
horrible,
use?
horrible. I'll never use it again. I used Wondershare Filmora, which does not have all the capabilities, but talk about, we all got stuck with what we had and then slowly were able to accumulate gear. My computer, my kids call it the little computer that tries. It's not meant for this. So I had to actually like beg it because I couldn't see it was starting. The processor was just like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So-
that the tech side of things, we touched on this before, is kind of a barrier of entry for some singer-songwriters right now because,
Yes.
like, you've got friends like, Rob, that can help. I mean, I don't know if you had a lot of this from your journalist experience as well, but somebody like that who really understands, like, StreamYard and, Zoom and YouTube and all that. But then other people are just sort of like, they don't have anything. They might have a
No,
phone.
I know. And I paid Rob in like beer and muffins to help a friend of mine who I happen to love his music. And I was like, I know you are booked and people have like meetings with you. Please do this for me, So yeah, Rob actually just did a panel for NERFA online about how to handle, sound and video and stuff. And he was instrumental in picking my upgraded gear for me. I had hand-me-down stuff. I mean, I happened to have an interface almost by accident in the house. I had never used it. I had to turn one of the channel, like the bass, all the way down, or it hissed so bad, And I limped through in the beginning and was fortunate. But yeah, let's take a time where you need more tech than you've ever had before. Let's give you less money than you've ever had before.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, when I get real bitter, I have a whole theory about the classes of artists that will emerge from this experience. And I think the artists who had kids versus artists who didn't have kids, I think the toll taken on those who had kids is a very different thing because, of course, we've had to nurse them through kind of the most difficult trauma, we could never have imagined. Like, we have a graduating senior. We don't even know how the world looks for him. Like, he was supposed to take an SAT, and that they're not even going to bother. So we're dealing with all that stuff in addition to trying to limp through new technologies and keep a shred of our own personal identity. Whereas there are other people who are like, cool, here's my setup, and I never have to move it, and everything is perfect every time. And
Yeah.
I think they'll emerge those classes of people. So I don't know.
For people who are drooling at your setup because you sound so good, and tell everybody what exactly you're using.
Okay.
And I'd like to know
It's-
what guitars you use too.
Yes. None of it's that complex. I mean, I think the funniest thing is I use the exact same Michael. I use the exact same Michael. Vocal mic.
Hello, Michael.
Hi,
You've now
Michael.
been named. You never had a name. I use
Myrtle
the
and
exact
Michael.
same vocal mic as I do for live shows. They're the Audio Technica 2010s. I really like them because I find that they work in 2 different ways. For live streaming, I can keep it about a foot away from my face and get a nice sound on it, but I can
Yeah.
also get really up close and personal. It's got a real nice sweet spot. I also find it works on a real wide variety of voices. Rob uses them for the open mics, and I do feel like they really accommodate a broad range. My mixer is an ancient. It just celebrated its 11th birthday. It's a little Behringer, like 4-channel,
Barry.
mixer.
His name is Barry.
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 So Barry just has one channel that doesn't work, and he's a 3-legged dog, but I love him. And, you know, so I have the same settings I would use mostly for a live show. And then I'm running that into Rob Hinkle's recommendation. It's a Scarlett Focusrite. I've just got a 2-channel interface that goes into my computer. The biggest thing that Rob taught me that changed my life is I was not getting great camera quality. And Zoom's a beast, and you're always going to get worse camera quality on Zoom than anything else. It hogs like 55% of my CPU. It really is a monster. There's a app for some of the cameras called Logi, like for the
Like
Logicam.
Logitech?
Right, so Logicam, you can actually manually adjust all the things that don't look right. So for example, I've adjusted a little bit of my color settings to make sure I'm not super washed out, even though I've got big, bright lights on me to keep the camera really sharp. So I've been lucky in my bandmate in that he's got that tech mind and can kind of,
Yeah.
you know, and he's available to you if you make an appointment kind of thing.
Yeah. Awesome.
I get it for free.
And you're using your Zoom camera, right?
So
I mean,
I'm
your
using
laptop.
Logitech. No, this is the
Oh.
Logitech.
Oh.
My laptop's over here, which is why I keep looking over to see you.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my thing. And then I did silly things, like stupid performing things I've learned. So I put the meter behind the camera so that I'm not tempted to get freaked out that I'm overdriving and look away from the camera. If anything, if I'm freaked out I'm overdriving, I look toward the camera because that's where the audio meter is.
Smart.
So just little things to make you look at people because it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we would love to hear one more song before we go, if you've got another one for us.
All right, I'll end with one of the songs I wrote during quarantine.
Awesome.
So the guitars,
Excellent.
I'll talk about the guitars as I'm doing that. So this is my baby. My baby was a $700 no sound in it Taylor I bought from Appalachian Bluegrass in Catonsville. I loved it. It just felt right in my hands. And then I put an Anthem system in it, and that, I mean, hands down, it's the best thing I've ever used. I also have a Martin that has kind of a Roland preamp in it. That's super weird, and I've never necessarily got my perfect sound there, and now that's the Dadgat guitar. It's a nice big beefy dreadnought, and so I have it in, for that purpose. But this is the workhorse. All right, let's make sure I'm in tune.
And while we're here, thank you everyone who's watching and for sharing. And maybe we can talk you into 2 songs in a row.
Oh,
Heather.
hey, I'm here for you. Nobody's up in the house yet, so it's like it's my time now. So I wrote, once I got well, this was the first song I wrote.
We'll get out of this, my child. You'll see. I've done my share of wandering. Are you out here in the woods all alone? Are you lost or did you lose someone? And I know it's been far too long. Daylight is a fairy tale, a nursery song. The hours slipped away and the months. Halfway there, now you're back at work. Oh, little one, I've been this way before. So many roads, no one can be sure. But I found the way and I made it through to pass it down to you. You will too. And all the while you're lost. Sure as you are seeking, you are being sought. I know it's hard, I know it's okay. You get to be afraid. Hey, we'll be this way again. So many roads, no knowing where they head. But we'll find a way, we will make it through to pass it down to you. You will too. You will too.
Great.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, what a nice sentiment. Yeah. That's a hard song to write, to try to just persevere through these hard times.
And it came from a weird place. I'll tell you a very quick funny thing. It came from an FAQ question on a festival website. The question was, are you lost or did you lose someone? You know, like people like, can you bring glass bottles? Like I'm like, that's so lyrical, you know? That was it.
That's fabulous. Wow. So
Great
you had
song.
like a big giant bag full of scraps of.
Oh yeah.
Is that physically and on your notes?
Yeah, physically, because you worked in journalism, so you know how they would call it a morgue, like your old kind of clips and things. If you needed a picture or you needed an old version of the newspaper, they call it a morgue. I have what I call the orphanage because they're not dead, you know, they just haven't found a home yet. So I have it's a big file folder on my desk that's like every little scrap of paper and random, you know, piece of inspiration just in case I ever kind of dry up and need something.
Cool.
It's hard to believe. I mean, the background that you have, everything looks so perfectly orderly. Is it
This is my husband's. So I married for a music collection. No, that's not true.
Well, I was going to ask you, which CD is the most valuable one behind you?
Oh, it's the box sets that are over on the other side. So this is
Are
probably
those
not
records
going to
too?
translate. Oh, it's all record CDs. So in the corner, that's a big giant Woodstock box set. That's all of Woodstock, like everything. And there's a Guns N' Roses box set, and then there's all the like Cadillac Records stuff. So in box sets alone, it's probably a disturbing amount. But my husband is an audiophile, and I built him this music library, but the music library is his. I do not touch it. My stuff is not mixed into it.
All right.
You know, I put box sets behind me that are the ones I like, you know, and I did it to reduce glare. I mean, let's talk about like the stupid reasons you choose your background. The light bounces off the CDs a lot, so I put the box sets up, specifically ones with matte covers where the light bounces the most, you know, I mean.
Oh, boy.
Brilliant. That's great. Heather, this has been so much fun. I
Yeah,
mean,
it has been great. It has felt like going to coffee brunch, you know, on Sunday.
Yeah. I wish we could do it in real life. So
Yeah.
cheers once again. You really are awesome. And if you could just do one more wonderful song, all of your songs are wonderful, for us as we go. We would
I
love to
wanted
hear
to
it.
tell you something that
Tell me something.
let's see. Chris, oh gosh.
Eric?
Since I looked down, the video, Rob says the video is amazing. Kelly Diamond, can't wait to see the full video. Love the preview.
Kelly.
Chris, Eric, loved your last song. He said that's the one he was hoping for. David Lloyd with 2 L's says another great song.
Daddy.
Chris said that's maybe his favorite song of the shutdown.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, and let's be honest, my songs are only going to make you cry. Damn it, Heather Lloyd.
Oh,
It is what I do. All right, then let's go full tilt. Let's not
and
make you
Chorus
cry.
of Courage says thanks for being such a great
Oh, hey,
songwriting
Carol.
teacher.
Carol Dale. Chorus of Courage is neat. They work with kids to do a songwriting contest that they have to write about like a hero who has triumphed. It's a real cool thing. Me and Andrew McKnight were their songwriting coaches for a while, and it was awesome. So,
Wow.
well, let's do something that the kids can't. Kids probably shouldn't listen to, but it's all
All right.
innuendo. It's
We're all
innuendo.
good. We're all good with that.
Innuendo. This, I think, because we're women here, and I'm feeling like, you know, we break a lot of stereotypes within this group, and I think one that I enjoy breaking is like, there was a time in my life, you know, good one night stand, that's all right, man. This is a song about the most successful one night stand I ever had. Hi, Dad. All right.
You're still too beautiful for your own good. And if you weren't so kind, I'd worry about the favors you come asking me to do. Easy to have a soft spot for you. Time for once in the same town, you walked me back to my hotel after we'd had a couple rounds. I couldn't stop talking. You kissed me to calm me down and left me speechless at the door. Never replied. We kept in touch where we could. A phone call, a ride to the airport, a place to stay, about a love of wine. And that one time I cracked a joke, wasn't a joke at all. Took my hand and you led me down the hall. It wasn't love, it was beautiful. And that one time sometimes bites you in the end, mostly when you try to turn once into again. But some things stand alone, stand apart, it's no sin. We were smart, my friend, and I smile when those girls write their songs for you. Sing along, because I know a thing or two, but I never wrote you one. Didn't seem a thing to do. You didn't heal my heart or leave me crying. You just stayed the night. That one time.
Fabulous.
Heather, Aubrey Lloyd, woo!
I'm a little jealous, Heather.
Oh, why?
Awesome.
I've been married like almost 2 years now. It's all, you know.
Oh, good.
But you're a soulful singer. You have so much to offer. You're so generous as a performer. We just loved having you. I wish we
It was a lot
didn't.
of fun.
It's just really, really wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I was so excited and distracted. I'm still like eating my cold pizza. You know, I haven't.
Hopefully, is that from last night, Heather?
Yeah.
It keeps. So we're going to sign off. Just stay on for a second with us on Zoom, but we say goodbye to everybody on
Bye,
Facebook.
everybody.
Hey,
Thank
guys.
you. Don't forget the tip jar.
HeatheryAubreyLloyd.com. Thank you.